Fellow practitioners of man, welcome back to Manpractice. It is a gorgeous day here in Austin, Texas. Wanted to get this video up for you guys before I head outside to play in the water and mingle with some friends. So, one of the questions that's been coming up a lot lately is men expressing that they don't know what to do next. I don't know what I should be doing right now. I know I want to make some changes in my life, but I don't know what to do. And I gotta imagine a bunch of you are asking yourself that same thing. And the truth of it is, you always know what to do. It's a conscious choice to stay confused. It's a conscious choice to not know. And there's a couple different ways that this is happening and that this is kind of manifesting and perpetuating in your life. And so I like to approach it from both of them. One of them is your behaviors and the other one is your beliefs. And I find it best for me and my results. Time almost collapses and the results are exponentiated when I attack it from both the behaviors and the beliefs. So that's what we're going to talk about here today. And with those beliefs, it all starts with you no longer telling yourself that you're confused. No longer telling yourself that you don't know what to do next. Even if you don't know the exact next move, you know how you want to feel. You know what you want to feel next. You know what you want to feel right now if it's something different than what you're currently feeling. So just start telling yourself, you know what, I do know what to do next. I want to feel X, Y, and Z. Maybe it's happy. Maybe it's joyous. Maybe it's confident, assertive. Whatever the thing is, they're just gentle, subtle reminders each day instead of all that negative self-talk where you're constantly saying, oh, I don't know what to do yet. Oh, I must be a failure. I must be an idiot. I don't know what steps to take next. It's a subtle shift that will shift your behavior or your beliefs. And then gradually, and I say over time, but I mean this is short, like within 2 days, 3 days, you will have these little ideas that start trickling in seemingly almost out of nowhere. And they're going to start out as small steps and small actions at first. But if you trust yourself, and the trust is a big one, and we're going to get into that with the behaviors here shortly. But if you trust yourself enough to listen to what those actions are, and you just do it, no negotiating, just do it. The next action that comes is going to be a little bit bigger. It's going to be a little clearer. See, what I've noticed is that results in my life seem to have a compounding effect. They are not linear, and a lot of times they don't even seem to be impacted by time. So the more I practice something, instead of it just incrementally growing by a little bit each day, the more I practice something, it starts to make these exponential leaps and bounds in my life where I wake up and I gotta look in the mirror and reassess who I even am because I feel so different, I look so different to myself. Now let's get to the important one here that's driving some of your subconscious, and that's your current behaviors. So even if you don't know what to do next to change your life, you know what you shouldn't be doing. You shouldn't be negotiating with yourself. You shouldn't be debating some of those things that you're doing. And if you don't trust those actions when they're showing up, and this is what's going to perpetuate a lot of the I don't know what to do, it's because you've gone back on your word to yourself so many times before that your mind stays in this perpetual state of confusion with all these ups and downs and highs and lows because it doesn't know if you're winning, it doesn't know if you're losing, it doesn't know if you should be happy, sad, or depressed, because if you can't even trust you to do what you say you're going to do, when you say you're going to get up at 6 a.m. and go hit the gym, and instead you hit the snooze until 7, and then you sit there and eat pancakes for the next 45 minutes, and then you go down some rabbit hole on YouTube, and that's probably how you ended up finding this video right here. Start making those small little changes. When you tell yourself you're going to do something, do it. If you know you're not going to do it, then just don't tell yourself you're going to do it. Just let yourself off the hook so that at least then you're not carrying that extra depression, that extra failure, loser mentality of, oh my God, I said I was going to do the thing again and I didn't do the thing. And maybe that means for a little while you tone back the amount of commitments that you're making to yourself. You make them smaller so that you can start stacking these small daily wins. And for me, that's a big part of my morning routine, and that's a big part of why I invest so heavily in my physical fitness. I can't always control what's going on in the outside world or in much of anything in life a lot of times, but I can control what's happening to this body. So I can control what kind of food I put into this body when I first wake up in the morning. I can control what kind of self-care I give myself so that I'm in the best possible state before I start interacting with other humans. I can control the condition of this body through exercise, training, whatever physical fitness routine feels like it's a good fit for you. And over time, each one of those, all throughout the day, starts to count as a win. And so you've stacked all these little wins at this point because you've kept your word to yourself and you've done all the small things. And this will completely start to rearrange your self-talk internally. You'll have more confidence in yourself. Why? Because you're keeping your word. You're doing the things you said you were going to do. You're not going back on yourself. So when you start to approach this from I'm going to stop telling myself that I'm confused. I'm going to stop telling myself I don't know what to do. And I'm just going to gently remind myself each day, you know what, Aaron? You're a bad motherfucker. You actually do know what to do. You're fucking brilliant. It starts to shift. And then when I get clear on what I can commit to and what I can't with myself, that way there's no negotiating. I'm not going back on my word. I'm not missing my own commitments to myself. Never mind the commitments that I make to other people outside in the world. Let's just start with the commitments that you're making to you. What did you commit to do for yourself today? And how well did you execute on those? And you're not going to execute 100% every day. That's unrealistic to even try to imagine that that's what the case is going to be. But I guarantee you what's going to happen is if you start making more realistic commitments to yourself, you're going to start checking off more of those boxes each day. And in that, because your confidence grows, your assertiveness grows, and then in that, your vision starts to get bigger and clearer, and a lot of the distractions go away. And then you can add more stuff to it. You can take on what would have been a soul-crushing amount of things just a couple months ago now feels like a warm-up to you. Why? Because you've trained yourself. You've trained yourself, you've practiced. You've practiced knowing what to do, both from a belief side and a behavior side. You've stopped telling yourself that you're confused, and you've stopped going back on your word. So now that your behaviors have changed and your beliefs have changed, what's left? The only thing that's left is for the results to start showing up. And they will. And then you can sit back and just receive them. And you can tell yourself, it's done. I did the work. It's done. Now I'm just waiting for XYZ to show up. I'm just waiting for that thing to show up now because I've actually done all the work. I believe it's going to show up, and I've taken all the steps necessary without negotiating, without going back on my word. So, when's the last time you've practiced knowing exactly what to do? When's the last time you've practiced not being confused? When's the last time you've practiced staying true to your word to yourself? Not other people, just yourself. When's the last time you started doing just for you what you said you were going to do? So remember, we're only as good as our last practice. So if you've never practiced that, or if you haven't practiced that in a year, I know what would be going on up here if I had stopped practicing both of those things, and it would not be pretty. It would feel like utter, obnoxiously loud, chaotic confusion. And I would wake up completely disoriented, and I would probably sleep pretty terrible at night. It would just not be pretty. So that's what I got for you guys today. I'm about to get out there and enjoy this beautiful world that's out there. It's a gorgeous day here in Austin, Texas. So I hope it's a gorgeous day wherever you're at, and you're going to get outside and enjoy some of it too, rather than sitting here on YouTube and going down rabbit holes and scrolling all day. You've got what you need. You know what you need to do. As always, love you guys. If you want to go deeper, if you want to go faster, be a link right up here. take a look at that. It'll give you some more details about what you can expect, what kind of results you can expect, and what that would look like in ways you can contact me. If you know without a shadow of a doubt you're ready to go right now, contact information down below. Love you guys. Catch you next time.